Once again, it's story time. I wanted to share with you an incident that happened to me while I was in the dressing room at the yoga studio. It happened quite a while ago, but it has stayed with me. And actually, when I think about it, it's one of the reasons why I started a forum like this. Um, I was getting out of the shower after yoga, and of course, I was naked. And the other women in the dressing room were in various states of undress as well. And I remarked to my friend Myrna, who you might recall from the Bikram family segments. I said to her, "Oh wow, I really need to take this weight off. I got a little fluffy." And we start going back and forth about weight loss and whatever. And there was a woman who was a bit older and heavier, and she said, "Oh, you just need to stop. You have a gorgeous body." And I said, "Well, thank you." And I said, "But I have put on a little bit, and I just want to get lock it down before it gets out of control because I know how I am." And she says, "Oh, well, if you feel that way about yourself, then how do you feel about me? What do you think about me?" And I just kind of looked at her, and because she was older and an elder, I let it go because certain things that's not a discussion we need to have right now. And Myrna and I left. And as we walked out, we started to kind of like talk about what that is and why that is. And I thought it was very interesting that she had interjected herself into a conversation that didn't involve her, but also she did it and she negated how I was feeling. She told me I didn't need to feel that way. And that disturbed me. And then also, I thought it was interesting that she felt that the way that I felt about my body was a reflection on how I felt about her body. And that's kind of what I wanted to talk about. This is a really interesting subject for me because it goes to the heart of one of the reasons why talking about the way that we feel about our bodies and body image is so difficult, because it's perception, and it's our personal perceptions, and it's the perceptions that we think other people have or hold about the body. I understood what that woman was getting at. I mean, she was looking at me, and I am fit, and saying, "Well, if you think that you're fat, then what the hell do you think of me? Because I'm not in shape right now." And that's a real thing, and people do hold real judgments about that. But what I'm interested in is I was talking about the way that I was personally feeling in my body at that time. And regardless of what anybody looks like, you can still have issues with the way that you feel about the way that you look. And that's a very real thing, and it's a very personal thing. And I don't think that it should be dismissed or poo-pooed just because the person might fit into, society's idea of beauty or fitness or whatever. It was very interesting because I did take it very personally, because I do struggle with these feelings, and given my background as a dancer and never being thin enough in that field, and I carry that with me even though I'm not on stage anymore. I didn't go through that story with this woman because it wasn't the time or the place. So I left it there, and she was an elder, and I respected that. But when Myrna and I got outside, we did have this dialogue about it, about like, well, why? Because I don't look a certain way, I don't get to feel a certain way about my body. Just because I'm not 50 pounds overweight, why do I not get to feel like I have a fat day, and why can't I express that? Don't get me wrong. There are people who will, I call it the mean girl complex, where they go like, "Oh, I'm so fat," and they're standing next to someone who's obviously, has weight issues, and they do it to make them feel something. We know what that is. Because people can be mean, and women definitely can be mean. Um, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about when people honestly share a feeling that they have about themselves that you don't think that they should have. But it's not important what you think about them, it's about what they think. And this is why I created this forum. So I guess I just want to say that, my whole thing is with acceptance and appreciation and respect for your body and its image. And I guess that's for your personal body, but we also need to have that same sort of respect and appreciation for others in their body and how they feel about it. And I don't think that we should be so quick to negate how they feel. And I think that sometimes it's supposed to be a compliment. Like, oh, you don't have anything to worry about. You look good. Well, that's wonderful. But when someone is really struggling internally with matching up their outsides with their insides, it can be very dismissive and hurtful, because it says then, oh, well, now I can't communicate my honest feelings because someone's going to think that I'm crazy, or someone's going to think that I'm just looking for attention. So I just wanted to say, I guess I call this entry, it's not about what you think, it's about what I feel. And so just, walk with that, and take note. I think we should, that could be an interesting exercise. Just take note when either it's done to us or when we're doing it, whether we verbalize it or not. And that's a really great place to start, because you really need to, if you're going to offer yourself that space of acceptance and appreciation, then you have to be willing and ready to offer it to others. Have a great day. Come back soon.